Okay, so I've received the box here, and we're gonna open it up together and see what we got. So it's from Autodoc in Germany here, autodoc.de or EU, I guess it says right here. I think they have UK and stuff, but yeah. So I ordered the wheel bearing hub assembly, and I also ordered a working light just for it was like €5 and kind of split up the shipping costs because it was like €7, so it's thought that'd be worth it. What do we got? Trash. So we have wheel bearing kit, Ridex, and light, working light lamp. Yeah, so one is for working in the garage without any lights, and just for filming as well, so I can have kind of get it on there better. And let's get this guy going, and yeah. So wheel bearing kit. I was debating ordering a higher quality one because this is sort of a cheaper brand, but I decided just to go with this one. This is the exact brand I ordered on the front one, so why not? So we have the new nut and cap, and also the brake rotor bolt, just like a screw. And then I have the bearing hub assembly. So we have let's pick it up, whatever, greasy hands. So has it spin? Where does it spin? Here? Oh, it's a bit greasy. But yeah, so we have the ABS ring, the hub and bearing assembly. And yeah, so it's relatively easy. You just have to kind of pull it off. And I bought a hub puller that you kind of attach and then tighten it. So it looks good. I can compare it when I take it off. But again, I have to. Here's the rotating part. It's rotating. Seems fine. Lots of grease. Yeah, I guess it's fine. And yeah, so I guess it's okay. I can compare it when I take the other one off. And yeah, should be good. And these are all they're pretty cheap, so it comes with it, so it's just better to replace it. Even the screw is totally stripped because last year I was replacing the dust protector on the back brakes, or on all the wheels actually, but the back ones you have to take the hub off to get to so you take the brakes off and the hub off to get to the dust protector because it's rusted and wouldn't pass the inspection. And I replaced the brakes as I did that, but I didn't put a new hub on assembly. So I used the old screw, just this one, so it might be hard to get off, but that's okay. I think the one I just didn't have one. I just left it. Just used like the lug nut. And yeah, and these ones, this hub, the studs, I don't have to replace it because my lug nuts are bolts. So sometimes you have to put the new studs in, and then you kind of like tighten them to fix them. But mine are like lug bolts, so it just screws on. So that should be good. And yeah, so I'm not surprised that the bearing hub assembly needs to be replaced, because in hindsight I should have just put a new one on. when I took off the hub, because it's not going to, putting an old one on is not going to be the best for it. So I'm not surprised that it could be going. And and at first I was debating just ordering two. Oh, my cat's here. Ordering two hub bearings to do both sides. Then I thought, nah, I'll just do the one, because if that's the one that's broken. But now that I'm thinking about it, and it's pretty easy. I mean, the bolts could be rusted, but I think I might just do both sides, because this is only 30 euros. I mean, I wasted a bit of not ordering both from shipping, but that's okay. And it's not so difficult to replace it, because the cat's messing with stuff. Because you don't have to use the hydraulic press. Yeah. And part of the thing I don't know is there's sounds when I'm driving. But yeah. So I went down and started on the work, pulled the tire off, pulled the wheel off, and yeah, so there was a few things that kind of happened that were a bit of a roadblock, but other than that, quite smooth. You just need a number 13 wrench here and a number 15 wrench to take off the 2 bolts for the calipers, for the brake calipers, and then the 1 wrench for just to hold it, because it's like expanding for the caliper. So you just take those off, and then there's actually like the metal pin, or it kind of holds the caliper between the pads and the rotor. I didn't actually take that off. I can kind of pull it out at a certain angle. And here I have the bolt, or the screw. It's actually a screw that bolts to the brake rotor to the hub. And it was definitely stripped, because last time I put it on, I just threw it on and it was just totally stripped. And what I ended up doing was I think I saw it on YouTube. YouTube short was I took a smaller flathead bit that I could put in the wrench, put a bit of sandpaper around it, and then hammered it in, and then it was stuck. And then that was able to give me enough grip, and then use the small wrench there. Yeah, so I hammered in. You can see me hammering in. So that worked quite well. And then I can take it off here. Yep. Got it. So that was good. And yeah, once I get it off, I just kind of pull it out and at an angle. And I had to take the back pad off. But you don't need to take that metal part off like other videos do, in my experience. I mean, maybe it's easier, but yeah, see, I can kind of get it off without taking the metal part off. And then the next part here, I kind of rotate. I show the spinning of it, and it sounds a little gritty. So it definitely spins faster. And a bit there. So yeah, you could hear a bit of grittiness in the rotation. It spins faster without the brake. I guess the brake is still pressing on it, and even now after I replaced it, it's still a bit tough. But I guess it's the bearing is rolling smoothly. So, but the bearing has like dirt, and there's not much grease in there, and it definitely, you can hear it gritty on it when it rotates like that. Yeah, so here I have a bearing puller that I bought last time I was working on the car here. I had to fix these replace the dust protector from the brake dust protector because it was rusty, and you have to pull the bearing off to get to the bolts. So I bought this bearing puller last time. And so it comes off pretty decently. I think it takes just a sec to kind of line it all up. And yeah, so I get this off pretty easily. And on the back ring of the bearing is still on, and that you can't. And I tried to hammer it at it for a little bit there, and I've read about it. And I remember on the front one, did it with a colleague, and we took the whole control arm, pushed the bearing out, and then the ring was still on, so we had to use a grinder to cut it off. So I sort of hammer at it with a chisel, and I try to use the bearing puller, but it's just not enough to get onto it. And the last time I did this, I just took the bearing off, replaced the dust collector, and then put the bearing back on and put it back on the back sleeve. I think I put a bit of grease in it, but I should have put more, just kind of packed it full, but that's okay. And yeah, so I ended up buying a grinder. So I went to the store and bought a grinder, a little battery grinder, and came back and grinded it till it was weak enough to. I lost some of the footage. It kind of stopped recording, and the battery. I think it seems to record and then stop automatically. But anyway, so I was able to grind it until I weakened it, and then hammered it with the chisel a bit, and then pulled it, and then I was able to get it out a little bit with the chisel, and then pull it again with the bearing sealer, the bearing puller, sorry, and then once I could get the grinder just to cut at it as much as I could, I took the back dust protector off again just because to get better angle, grinded it a bunch, and then I could get the chisel behind it and have like a couple millimeters behind it, and then puller behind. I could get in between there and pull it off, and then it was good. And I cleaned it up a bit, cleaned up the axle, greased it a little bit, cleaned it up with a brake cleaner, and then I put grease on it. And then the new bearing, I tried to hammer it on with like a screwdriver handle as a rubber mallet, but it wasn't hard enough. And I think the stainless steel is hard enough, so I ended up just hammering it on enough until I could get the bolt to catch, and then bolted it on with a regular wrench, with a regular socket wrench, until it was on, and then I tightened it to the torque spec of 175 newton meters. It said 175 newton meters plus 30 degrees, and I was able to pull it a bit more than the 175, but not too much. It was that tight, so I thought, okay, well, good enough. And yeah, so here I'm just putting it on, and then I think I hammered at it for a while, but yeah. So I have get the torque wrench out and start tightening it with the torque wrench until it's good. Like I said, I was able to get a bit more than the 175 for the 30 degrees. But yeah, so that's good. Get that on. And then I get the cap on. It's a sealed thing, so you shouldn't reuse it. hammer that on. Put the brakes back on. I've cleaned the brakes up a bit, like the brake cleaner on the rotor. I put the copper NEC's paste on the hub that's in contact with the rotor, and then put the pads and caliper back on. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too dirty. I replaced it like a year ago, so it's sort of rusty, dirty a bit, but not too bad. And I just put like I said, just a bit of that copper anti-seize paste on the hub, and just clean it up with the bolts to make sure the lug nuts aren't on there, or the lug bolts aren't have that. And yeah, here I put the cap back on, and then the new screw into the rotor, like screws into the hub, and I just hand tighten it. Don't need any Loctite or anything like that, I'm pretty sure. Put the brakes back on, tighten there, make sure everything's tight, double check everything's tight. Put the wheel back on, tighten it, drop it, tighten it, and then in 50 to or like 100 kilometers, I'll tighten it again. I haven't tightened it yet, but and yeah, so it seems to work better now. When I rotate it on like the jack, it's still a bit tight, but it rotates a lot smoother for sure. And yeah, and good to go. And success. So yeah, pretty exciting. Thanks for watching the video this week. Let me know if you have any questions, and until next time, bye for now.